del Sol is a place many in the south have made home, but for some, the paradise they dreamed of is crumbling. Mike Kerr from Surrey and brothers Adi and Darren Moore from Hampshire are amongst those who've lost tens of thousands of euros after their property was declared illegal. The fight for justice has passed through several Spanish courts, and now a South East MEP is bringing it to the attention of the European Parliament. David Allard reports.
This is the actual development plot itself.
Stress, guilt, frustration. That's the legacy of this family's Spanish dream. Brothers Adi and Darren and their parents invested €200,000 in a new hillside complex near Almere. They did their research. Everything seemed to check out legally.
All of the questions that we asked them about the land, you know, are they free to sell it, which they said they were free to sell it, which is absolutely key.
But with their villas close to completion came unwelcome news.
We had an email saying that the Guardia had cordoned it off, and they were saying it was an illegal build.
That was 4 years ago.
I've split up with my wife. You know, I've been living in England. My son's been living over in Spain. It's been a complete nightmare.
So what can go wrong? As we've heard, in many cases, people thought permission to build had been granted. But it turned out that although local mayors had handed out building licences, the regional government hadn't been informed. And this caused the problem, because in Spain, it's the regional government which must rubber stamp permission to build on rustic or farming land. It's led to many legal battles, with regional governments insisting on overriding town halls and declaring thousands of homes illegal, and in some cases ordering demolition. Mike Kerr's trying to get a €200,000 deposit back from his Spanish bank. Appealing through the Spanish courts and asking for help from the British government has come to nothing.
Financially, obviously, it's been a massive impact. It's all of my savings gone, it's all of my wife's savings gone, and some of my sons.
His advice to potential home buyers in Spain?
I would just say, just don't do it. It's really not worth it.
Spain says it's dealing with town hall corruption. Some mayors have been jailed, other officials are facing trial. But their victims, families like the Moores and the Kerrs, have been left in limbo, with no property, no money, no sign of a resolution. David Allard, BBC South Today.
Well, let's now talk to the MEP Marta Andreasen, who's in Brussels for us this evening, and she's raised the issue in the European Parliament. Why have you taken up this case?
Well, a number of my constituents have come to me for support on this case, and I thought that, you know, this is a breach of human rights, and I thought that I was best positioned because I'm a national of Spain, I know the regions, I know the language, and I know also how these things happen. So I thought I should really help these people out in some way.
So what is it then that you think the European Parliament can do?
Well, the European Parliament should put pressure on the Spanish government to resolve the issue. The Spanish government says it's not its competence, it says it's the regional authorities that have competence, which, well, may be true, but it is the central government that has left the building permits on the hands of very low level of governmental authorities. And this is wrong, and this is what is causing the problem. There is also the problem of the coastal law, and it's the retroactive application of this law.
And very briefly, Marta, if you will, are you confident about an outcome? And if so, it could take years, couldn't it?
Well, I'm confident about the pressure that the Parliament can put. The Parliament can have a resolution forcing the Spanish government to resolve the issues, or else the EU funding will be blocked to those regions where these anomalies are taking place. And this is the most powerful tool that we have, the blocking of the funds to the regions in Spain.
Marta Andreasen, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
James Holloway has just had a major heart operation. It's his 6th, and he's just 15 years old.
We came in last Monday. He had surgery on Tuesday, which took 13 hours. And it was a big operation. It was successful, and basically he's come out of it with a normal circulation now, which is the first time in his life that he's actually had that. So we're very pleased.
Southampton is one of 11 centres to do this kind of surgery. The NHS thinks that's too many. It wants fewer, bigger centres, so some units will have to close.
Southampton's, in terms of size, is a medium-sized unit, but as far as quality goes, we feel that we are a world-class centre with very good results, and results over a very long period of time.
This is one of 3 hospitals in the south doing heart operations on very young children, and many parents are worried that if they lose the service here, they may have to travel further and wait longer for their operations. 3-year-old Cora has only half a working heart. Her parents moved to Lox Heath just to be closer to the hospital.
If we have to travel further, then we're not going to be able to be a family unit. It's going to be extremely costly, and we will be without our extended family and friends.
Tonight, nearly 100 people joined a public meeting in Southampton where the NHS explained the review.
Well, experts have agreed that there are currently too many centres performing children's heart surgery in England and have recommended that there should be fewer larger centres. So we're undertaking a review of all 11 centres in England. An expert panel has reviewed them against agreed national standards, and we're here tonight to get the views of parents, carers and other local interested people.
They say it's not about saving money and that local centres will still offer care even if the operations are done elsewhere. But many parents are sceptical about just how that will work.